Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Manifested Finesse on YouTube. My name is Manifesting Gaia. That is my Twitter, TikTok, podcast, and Instagram. All the links are down below. And my affirmations list and audio rampage email is down below. And today I'm going to be talking about separation. You'll often hear me say in videos, you're separating yourself, or live streams, stop separating yourself. So I just want to talk about what that means and what I mean when I say that to you guys. If everything is your thoughts, if everything is controlled by your beliefs, then everything is you, because your reality is your perceptions, but your perceptions are not reality. Meaning, what you assume about a situation or a person or a thing or a manifestation in general, or your ability to manifest, or is manifestation real or not, is true, is reality, will become your reality, will be what you experience. But reality itself is neutral. There is no big or small things. There is no fast or slow. There is no negative or positive. It just exists. You add your perceptions, which create your reality. So with that being said, when I say you are not separate, right? What I'm saying is a lot of you ask questions that infer that your thoughts have nothing to do with it. Your beliefs have nothing to do with it. It's moving on its own free will. Nothing's happening. So when y'all ask questions, first of all, about 3D, you're separating yourself, because all your physical reality, 3D means your physical reality, anything you're experiencing with your five senses. All your 3D reality is the thought patterns you had or have. So if you're asking, if you have a story about a specific person and your whole story has been they're a player, they're emotionally unavailable, they won't commit to me, and you ask or you react or you ask about a situation where they are fulfilling that assumption of them that you have, you're like, how do I get them to change? And getting anybody to do anything is not what you're doing. You are selecting a different version of them in your mind. Instead of selecting the version of them that you are currently selecting that says they are emotionally unavailable, you are selecting the one that says they are not emotionally unavailable. They are ready to commit to me. They ask me to commit to them every single day. When that's you, you're not separate, because you say, okay, all I have to do is change the story I have of them and me, because if I knew I was in control, I wouldn't be operating like I'm separate, and reality will change. A lot of you guys look at the world as having its own free will, but that is contradictory to you being the operant power. That is contradictory to you being the perceiver of your reality. You can't say, oh yeah, my assumptions create. Law of assumptions says what I assume to be true must be true as long as I persist, and then ask about outside of me. Anytime you ask about outside of you, you're separating yourself. Outside of you is a reflection. The only job your physical reality has is to give you reasons to keep thinking the way you're thinking. I've said this multiple times, but your subconscious mind defends the beliefs that it holds dominant. So if you dominantly believe this person is unavailable and you keep entertaining those thought patterns every time you think of them, the story you identify with them, the perceptions you have, because again, your perceptions create your reality, but reality is not your perceptions. So the perception you have about your specific person that says they're unavailable, they don't like me, they don't talk to me, that is going to be true for you, but that is not the truth, because there are infinite realities, because there's infinite ways for you to perceive a person, a situation, an object. So it's never fixed. Is basically what it means. Or money, for example, right? A lot of you guys are like, I was talking to somebody on Twitter today because they were like, I just cannot believe that you can just sit around and money can come to you and you don't have to work for it. And I'm so glad that so many people share their own success stories and were saying like, that's not true. Like I shared some of my client stories and I was like, people are doing it. Like, first of all, money isn't even real. But then I also said to this person, I was like, you're separating yourself. You're seeing money as something that is not connected to you. Because if you knew you were the perceiver, the creator, the ruler, whatever you want to call it, of the entire world, whatever you wanted would come to you if you changed the stories, then you wouldn't think that you couldn't have something. Because if you think you can't have it, then you can think you can have it. There is no difference. It's a difference in self-concept and perception, but there is no difference. So you saying, I don't see how money can just come to you. You have money over here and up there, first of all, on a pedestal. But also, it's over there. Your desires are right here. Your desires are literally right here in your face. They're right here. They're right here. They're right here. You already have a story about money. You already have a story about your person. You already have a story about career. You already have a story about appearance change. You guys say it's so hard. I don't know what to do. I can't do it. They're so stubborn. I'm broke. I don't know how you can make money doing this, doing this, doing this. Those stories are not separate from you, right? Because you tell them. Nobody holds a weapon up to your head and says, talk badly about your specific person. Have a bad story about money. Dwell on bad circumstances. You guys do that on your own, because you are connected to the world outside of you, because there is no outside of you. That's another thing. There is no outside of you. When we say that, it's you are experiencing your own thought patterns, your own states of being. You are experiencing yourself. So anytime you guys ask about something and it's framed in a way that is coming across as, I have no control over this, how do I make this not happen? How do I make this stop? How do I make this start? You are separating yourself. And when you separate yourself, you put yourself out of control, because you're saying, this person's just showing up like this. I don't have no control over my money situation. I don't have control over my health, which is not true. You cannot be in power. You cannot say you're the operant power. You cannot say you're in control. You cannot say you're deciding. You cannot say you're in the state and then worry about what your old states created. 3D is just old states created. You're not separate from your three-dimensional reality. It just doesn't come first. Nothing on this earth, not you as a person, not me. I didn't exist and then my parents were like, oh, let's have a kid. They had the idea first. This outfit, it couldn't have existed. It didn't just come on its own. It is not separate from the mind. You have to imagine yourself with it. Every single thing a person has owned or experienced, they imagine themselves having that thing, because the world is not separate from you. So to stop operating from separation, number one, work on your self-concept. If you knew, thought, believed you could have, be, and do what you want, you would not ask, what about this person? Like, a lot of you guys already know the basics. People outside of you are you pushed out. They are your assumptions of them, because your perception creates. Reality is not fixed. But if your perceptions are, then your reality will be, but it never is, because you can always change your perceptions. So that's another thing. There is no separation and nothing's ever permanent, because you're always changing your perceptions. And number two, again, you have to change the story of that thing. Like, you guys literally think you cannot have money and you have to break your back for it. Like, this person online was like, I just don't see how it's possible. And I'm like, why are you separating yourself? You're literally telling me that you don't think something is possible and then questioning why you're not seeing that thing that you don't think is possible. You are not separate. That is manifestation working for you. You don't believe in something, so the thing you don't believe, don't assume can happen for you, don't think will ever show up in your reality, it's not happening for you and it's not showing up in your reality. That is connectiveness. You are connected to your thoughts, and your thoughts are connected to your reality. You think it first, you assume it first, you persist in that first, and then it reflects in reality. That is all that it is. So getting rid of separation, your self-concept, and then changing the stories. If you watch my self-concept video on self-concept in 3 parts, that's why I teach it that way. Is number one, yourself, your foundation, recognizing you're the operant power and entertaining that story, because you can only view reality as high as you view yourself. So when you're like, okay, I am the one deciding. I understand my thoughts create. Every single person in my life is showing up as the assumptions that I believe. Every single area of my life, my career, my job, my love life, everything is literally what I believe it to be, which it will be true for all of you. So if I want something different, I have to tell myself something different, which is not separation. If I tell myself this, reality shows this. What part of that screams separation? What part of that should you be asking, but they're doing this, but they're doing this, but they're doing this? If they're doing this, it's because you tell me they're doing it, because you are holding that story. You don't even have to be in that situation to reaffirm that story, because you are stuck in that identity. So in order to move out, you need a new identity to move into. So you have to decide what you want and stick to it, independent of 3D, because 3D is just your old thought patterns. So either you're staying stuck in your thought patterns or you're moving. I should never ever hear you be like, well, they're doing this. This is what's happening in my 3D. Because all that really means is you're saying, this is what's happening in my mind. They're stubborn in my mind. I'm broke in my mind. I'm having trouble manifesting instantly in my mind. It's so hard for me to manifest in my mind. There is no separation. Everything you feel about 3D is how you feel about your own mind, is what's going on in your mind. If you're like, I'm impatient in my 3D, you're impatient in your mind. That's another thing. This whole thing about being impatient about 3D. 3D will not change if that is your story, because you're just reaffirming, I'm stuck. And if you're affirming that and you are not separate, guess what you will always be until you change that story? Stuck. So people are like, how do you deal with impatientness? Well, I really don't, because it doesn't take me that long to create shifts in my life, because I'm not waiting for literally a delay of my mind to show me something I'm not even entertaining in my mind. I stop with that narrative. I'm impatient. Impatient for what? You're literally saying, I'm waiting for myself. Like I said, anything you say about 3D, you're saying about your own mind. I'm waiting for my mind to change, which you're in full control of. And then I do the little 3-step process. At that point, once I reclaim my power, I start believing in myself and believing in my manifestations, and then I move in that direction. So basically, that is what I mean by no separation. There's nothing you're waiting for, because you're waiting on yourself to change. It's all you. It is all you. There is no separation. Just like if you're religious, you believe like God's all. God is the trees. God is the plant. God is the past, present, and future. That's also you, here and now. You are literally everything, because everything in the world exists in your mind. And you are the only one with your perceptions, and your perceptions are changeable. So you're in control. So when you start questioning 3D, start questioning time, start questioning somebody's behavior, start saying things are moving slow, things aren't moving, you are saying that about yourself, about your mind, because there is no separation. And the more you keep operating like you're separate, the more you're going to be separate, but you're never actually separate. You are in control of those narratives. So change your narratives, change your stories, change your self-concept. Keep reminding yourself, it is all me. It is all me. They have no choice, because they are me. This thing has no choice but to change, because it is me. My self-concept has no choice to change, because it is me. And that's it. And with that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, you can have anything you want in this universe. Nothing's too big, small, wide, or expensive. I believe in you. You should believe in you. And I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.